Two teams in the middle of the pack of the CCIW Tangle in the western suburbs of Chicago today. It's the Elmhurst College Blue Jays and the Carthage College Redmen right here on Blue Jay TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jason Doro. The producer is Glenn Liljeberg. We're ready here for game number 2 of the doubleheader at R.A. Faganell Hall. About 30 or 40 minutes ago, we wrapped up game number 1. Carthage took it in the women's matchup by a score of 77-72. Although the Blue Jays' Michaela Eppard put in 22 points and 8 rebounds. If you didn't fully catch those starting lineups, let's run through them really quick. First for Carthage, Jordan Thomas, a junior guard, will be in the backcourt, joined by Derek Mason, a senior guard. Then in the front court, it's Keenan Baltimore, a sophomore forward who scores 17 points per game, joined by Brad Cruz, who is a first-team All-CCIW member from last year. He's a senior forward. And then Brad Perry is the big man in the middle, a sophomore center, standing 6'11". For Elmhurst, it's Brandon Auker, a senior guard playing point, joined by Ryan Patton, a sophomore guard who scores 10 a game. Then Jeremy Ireland, Justin Fox, and Pavlos Morakis will be in the front court. Here we go, game number 2 of action today at R.A. Faganell Hall. Near side, this is Thomas in the paint, a little runner, bounces off, and the board is to Ireland. Mason will supply some full court pressure here on Auker, who plays point. We should note this is Auker starting not Jake Rohde, the typical point guard for the Blue Jays, who has started all 22 contests this season for Elmhurst. Patton off a screen at the top, his three a little short, and it bounces out of bounds. Elmhurst comes in at 11-11 on the year. They are 4-9 in CCIW play. Carthage on the other side, just a tad better at 12-9 overall, but they're 7-5 in conference action. They've taken 3 of their last 5 and 5 of their last 8. 3 on the way from the left side, and it's good. That was out of the hand of Keenan Baltimore, who we mentioned averages 17 points per game, and he shoots about 37% from deep. We can expect him to put up a fair amount of shots today. Morakis in the paint, and he slid the pivot foot a little bit too far. The travel gives the ball back to the Redmen. More full court pressure here. Justin Fox, the man guarding Brad Cruz. Cruz also shoots it at a great clip. 16 points per game. As that shot caroms off and out of bounds. As I was saying, Brad Cruz, 16 points per game, 7 rebounds. Hits almost 58% from the floor. A couple of great scorers in the front court for the Redmen as they enter R.A. Faganell Hall today. Patton on the far side. Gets it right back, a little head fake, and he'll bounce it back out. Inside for Ireland, a little space, right-handed bunny is good. And if Elmhurst is going to have any chance at winning today, they're going to need Jeremy Ireland to play well. A junior center, stands 6'7", and he's the only body who's nearly big enough to guard Brad Perry. Inside move, lost by Baltimore. Here comes Auker. Off to Fox, who darts inside. Fires it to Morakis, fadeaway 10-footer, caroms off. Poked away by Patton momentarily, but the Redmen track it down. This is Jordan Thomas. Floated in for Perry, guarded by Morakis. The baseline pass intercepted by Patton. Here come the Blue Jays. Ireland with space all the way to the bucket. Goes up with the right and misses. Offensive rebound by Morakis, and he's fouled underneath. So it looks like Morakis, rather than Ireland, will guard Brad Perry. Morakis is 6'7", 230 pounds. Here comes Lance Gardner replacing Justin Fox. Gardner more of an offensive threat than Fox is. The junior forward from Roseville, Minnesota, scores 8 points per game. A brief stoppage here. The foul was issued to Brad Cruz. He picks up his first team foul of the game for the Redmen. Ocker playing point. Dishes it far side. A jab, and then Ryan Patton drives to the baseline. They swing it around for Ocker, and now Ireland on the block. Ocker lines up a tray. A little bit short and tapped out of bounds. We'll keep it on this end. A fresh shot clock and new possession for the Blue Jays here. And Bosko Jarakovic, the 23rd year head coach of the Carthage College Redmen, with his hands spread out wide on the bench, upset with that last call. Gardner bounces it in. Patton sent away. A triple team on the block. Tough for the guard to put it up and score in that position. Near side Cruz. Couple of lanky guys, him and Gardner, 30 feet from the hoop. 10 for the Redmen to shoot. Cruz drives baseline, head fake, kicks it out. They swing it around. Thomas left open for three, and he connects. Thomas is deadly from deep, 45% on his three-point shots this season. He's a transfer from Northern Illinois University. Appeared in 7 games for the Huskies in 2015-2016. This is Ryan Patton, little dipsy-do, and throws it in off the glass. 6-4 the score after the nice move from Patton. And now the Redmen turn it over. Jake Rohde enters now, replacing Brandon Ocker. Derek Dotlich enters as well, sending Patton to the bench. And now we see Rohde for the first time today, averaging almost 15 points per game in his freshman season here with the Blue Jays. Dishes out over 5 assists per contest. Nice bounce pass to Maracas, fed by Jeremy Ireland. An easy deuce for the Blue Jays to tie it up. Cruz continues to play point. He's listed as a forward, but given the matchups that the Redmen have, they'll play him at point, and there's a whistle against Carthage. It's an illegal screen as you take another look here. And yeah, Keenan Baltimore just wasn't set as he placed the screen on the outside. Sean Johnson steps into the game, replacing Baltimore. And he's a tall, lanky fellow, 6'10", 205 pounds. He'll guard Jeremy Ireland. Ireland, free throw line, out to Rohde. Rohde has great handles, dribbles the basketball really well. Maracas, nice head fake to create some space. Now he's fouled at the rim, and he'll go to the stripe. Great feed by Gardner to Maracas, even better move. Expect Pablos Maracas to see some extended minutes tonight. At the line here, he's only shot 11 free throws this season and made 6 of them. With that miss, he'll be down to 50% at the stripe on the year. Maracas plays about 10 minutes and change per game. Because of his size, they'll need him more today. You look at the other side, and Carthage has 2 bodies on the floor right now that are at least 6'10". One-point Elmhurst lead after Maracas hit the second free throw. Here's Thomas, the NIU transfer. Floats it in for Perry. Little fake, right-handed hook. Too short. Maracas the rebound, and an outlet pass directly to Rohde. Rohde kicks for Dotlich, open for 3. Front rim, no good. Rebounded Gardner. He goes back up, but he's stripped of the basketball. Brad Cruz taking it away. And now Cruz slows it up. Again, Perry will be on the block. Perry was the CCIW Freshman of the Year last season. A three-pointer from Cruz. Bounces to the near side, tracked down by Perry, and then tapped out of bounds by Maracas. And here comes Peyton Sampson replacing Maracas. They'll task him with guarding Johnson, and Ireland switches over to Perry. 3 fouls against Carthage already, none against the Blue Jays. Mason far side, a senior guard. Now Cruz. Hop step into the lane, has to kick it out. Just 6 for the Red Men to shoot. And another whistle. This time it's against the Blue Jays. Let's take another look. Tough call if you're head coach John Baines. Definitely was not much there. Dotlich picks up his first. It's also the first team foul against Elmhurst. Cruz tries to split a double with a behind the back dribble. Elmhurst takes it away. Gardner at the other end. He's fouled at the 10. His layup just barely rolled off. There's the steal, and then Gardner trying to beat Perry down the floor. Eventually draws the foul, and now Bosko Jarakovic will use a timeout, trailing by 1. Almost 7 minutes into contest number 2 of our doubleheader today here at R.A. Faganell Hall. We appreciate you coming aboard to Blue Jay TV. I'm Jason Doro. The producer is Glenn Liljeberg. And it's been a slow start to this one. Not too surprising considering the first matchup that these two teams had this season. Back on Saturday, January 13th, Carthage topped Elmhurst 63-57. A very low scoring affair. Both teams shot below 40% in that contest. The game was tied with about 5 minutes to go. Elmhurst fell behind then, was trailing by just 2 with less than 90 seconds to play. Eventually fell by 6, so now they're trying to avenge that loss back here at home. The Blue Jays are 5-5 at R.A. Faganell Hall in the season as Lance Gardner connects on the first free throw. On the other side, Carthage just 3-5 on the road, so they haven't played well away from Kenosha. But of course, this isn't that far a drive from Kenosha, just about 65 miles north of Chicago along Lake Michigan. Johnson dives into the paint, and they'll call a blocking foul against the Blue Jays. You'll see Johnson dropping to the basket off that screen and just toppling the defender. Again, the officials have to talk this one over to make sure they issue the foul to the right player. They give it to Lance Gardner, who picks up his first. 2 fouls against the Blue Jays here in the first half. John Baines standing near the Elmhurst bench in his 5th season as the head coach for the Blue Jays. Drive from Cruz, a little runner, no good. Rebound to Ireland. Full court pass up to Sampson, who lays it home. This is great vision from Jake Rohde. Take another look. Rohde chucks it up 80 feet to get the easy deuce. Perry left open, 18-foot jumper front rim, and that's clearly not his shot. At the other end, Dotlich a 3. Yes! Derek Dotlich connects on the triple. He had 14 points in the loss to Carthage in January. Let's see if the Red Men can answer. Johnson, right-handed hook. Offensive board for Cruz, no good. It's tapped around and corralled by Dotlich. Off to Ireland with space, to the rack, misses it. Put back from Sampson, no good. Another lefty shot misses, and Perry gobbles in the rebound. Perry's got some big mitts, clean glass. 7-point lead for the Blue Jays. The lanky Johnson on the baseline, guarded by Sampson. He has a clear height advantage here. Lefty hook, rattles around, rebound for Ireland, who's got 4 boards in this contest. Another pass up to Sampson from Rohde. This one was floated just into the hands of a red man. He got his hands on it and tapped it out of bounds. Pavlos Marakis back into the game, replacing Lance Gardner. Ireland goes to the bench as well as Justin Fox re-enters. Rohde pulls up from 12 feet and drains it. Rohde buries the jumper, and Elmhurst is on a great run right now. Drive from Baltimore. Misses that one off the glass. Rohde between the legs dribble. Fires it to Dotlich. Cross-court pass for Fox, who measures a 3. Off the rim, no good. Rebounded by the Redmen. Pass up to Thomas. A quick move to the baseline, and he draws the whistle. Here's the outlet pass up to the point guard, Thomas, who was a little bit too fast for Jake Rohde. Elmhurst on a 13-0 run here. Shot no good. Another chance for Carthage, but an offensive foul. The Blue Jays are getting great defensive position here. That's Cruz bowling over a Blue Jay. Cruz picks up his second. 5 team fouls against the Redmen here in half number 1. The Blue Jays looking to build on a 13-0 run. Dotlich, crossover dribble, gets space, falls and travels. He lost his footing on the left-handed drive. More full court pressure here. It's TJ Best bringing it up for Carthage. Baltimore kicks it out to the corner for Thomas. A floater from 7 feet slips in. That will snap the 13-0 Blue Jay run. The feed batted away by Best. But a whistle and a foul against Carthage. Best certainly doesn't play a lot, just 8 minutes per game, and he's only played in 14 of Carthage's 21 contests this year. We'll see how he fares against the Blue Jay guards as Rohde and Sampson hit the bench, replaced by Auker, as well as Ireland back into the contest. John Baines keeping a steady group of forwards in the game between Fox, Marakis, and Ireland. A lot of size. He's normally willing to go with more guards. Ireland lines up and misses a 3, gets his own board, puts it back up, and misses it a little bit strong. Offensive rebound for the Blue Jays. Spin from Marakis, and he misses the left-handed bunny. It remains a 7-point game. The Redmen 12-9 on the year, 7-5 in the CCIW. They're looking to make sure they can get into the CCIW tournament. Only 4 teams will make it, and the Redmen are currently 5th in the conference. That 3 clangs off. Marakis got bumped in the head, but still secured the rebound. Elmhurst is 4-9 in CCIW play, by the way. They're tied up for 7th with Milliken, so they have work to be done here at the end of the year. Ryan Patton nails the tray. Elmhurst now 2 of 7 from deep. Patton has chipped in 5 already. A double-digit lead for the Blue Jays. Baltimore on the block. Right-handed shot. Toilet bowls out. It hung on the rim but would not fall. One Redmen waits at the scorer's table. So we're more than halfway through half number 1. Marakis, a little space, bounce pass to Ireland, and he finishes it off. Ireland has 4, 5 rebounds as well. The big guy averages 15 points per game and almost 9 rebounds per contest for Elmhurst. Numbers for the Blue Jays. Ocker doesn't see his men up the court, and his pass is deflected out of bounds. The Blue Jays had a 4-on-1. You see Ocker bump into a defender, and Elmhurst had all kind of momentum going up the court. They'll keep possession, but no points to be had after that great opportunity. So 20-8 as Bosko Jarakovic uses another timeout. And surely the head man of the Carthage College Redmen, who has been coaching them for 23 years, has seen situations like this before. He's the winningest coach in program history. A victor in almost 65% of the contests that he's coached there. Made the NCAA tournament 4 times with the Redmen, and even finished 3rd in 2002. He's been in the coaching business for a long time, and mostly in the CCIW. He was the head coach at North Park from 1985 to 1994 and won 2 NCAA championships there in 85 and 87. But for more than a couple decades, he's been rolling along in Kenosha with the Carthage College Redmen. They trail by a dozen. Ocker triggers for Elmhurst. Maracas with a nice little move to fool his defender Baltimore, but he has to pick it up nonetheless. Ocker baseline drive, dishes for Maracas, who lays it in. Maracas is playing very smart here in the early going. And Ocker, who got the start at point guard in place of Jake Rohde, has had some stellar play as well. Derek Mason, a pull-up from the elbow, and he buries it. Mason with his first points of the afternoon. He's a senior guard from Grays Lake, Illinois. Went to Gurney Warren Township High School. And an offensive foul against the Blue Jays here. It's against Jeremy Ireland, trying to clear space on the block. Taking another look here. Look down into the post, and it's the left arm. I don't know if you caught it, but Ireland used the left arm there to clear out his defender, which drew the whistle. 4 team fouls against Elmhurst in the half. That was Ireland's first. 16 fouls against the Redmen, so the Blue Jays will be shooting free throws the rest of the way on defensive fouls. There's an easy bucket for Carthage. Steve Leeser on the block with a head fake and then a kiss off the glass. He's a senior from Mount Prospect. Plays about 17 minutes per game, but definitely not a scorer. Ireland, high post. Gives to Maracas. 6 seconds for the Blue Jays to shoot. This pass intercepted. All the space in the world for Cruz, who will just lay it in over the rim. Timeout, John Baines. A 6-0 run for the Redmen forces Baines to use a TO here with a little less than 7 minutes to go in half number 1. Thanks again for joining us here on Blue Jay TV. I'm Jason Doro. The producer and director is Glenn Liljeberg. A big thank you to him for sticking with us for a long day of basketball here at R.A. Faganell Hall. Game number 1 of this doubleheader was won by Carthage, the women's team securing a 77-72 victory over the Blue Jays. Michaela Eppert had 22 points and 8 rebounds in the contest. She's 1 board away from 1,000 in her career. And of course, still plenty of basketball left to be played this season, at least several games left for the Blue Jays, so she's bound to break that barrier and continue to move up the Elmhurst College record books. She's 3rd all time in scoring here at Elmhurst and 2nd in rebounds. We resume play. Carthage on a 6-0 run, but still down by 8. Blue Jays have led by as much as 14. Ireland spins and draws the foul. The foul's on Leeser. It's the first foul against Leeser in the half. And it's the 7th team foul, and as noted earlier, Elmhurst will shoot free throws for the rest of the half. Ireland's first shot up and good. He's a junior out of Berwyn, went to Fenwick High School, and he knocks down almost 80% at the stripe. A great mark for a guy of his size. Ireland sat out last season due to CCIW transfer rules. He played 2 prior seasons at North Central College, not far away in Naperville. Free throw number 2, good as well. And the Blue Jays have a double-digit lead again. Leeser on the far side. 73% of his shots this season have been three-pointers. Baltimore pulls and connects a 20-footer. Foot was on the line, so it's just a 2. Rhodey, some nifty dribbling. Gardner measures a long 3, a little bit strong, out to Rhodey. He tries the tray and connects. Rhodey's got 5. He's perfect from the floor. Blue Jays lead by 11. Carthage really needs to get Jordan Thomas going. They have some great scorers on this roster as there's a whistle and a foul against Elmhurst. It's on Ireland, who picks up his 2nd. 5 fouls against the Blue Jays. Maracas to the scorer's table and replaces Ireland. But there are definitely some great scorers on this Carthage team. Thomas averages almost 20 points per game. We know he has tons of skill because he transferred from NIU. Baltimore averages 17 per contest. Cruz scores it at a great rate. Even Perry can be good on the block. He has 10 points per game. Thomas fires over to Baltimore, but first there's a whistle. And again, it's a secondary defender stepping in to draw the charge. Take another look. Thomas runs over Peyton Sampson. It's the first foul against Thomas. Since it's an offensive foul, Elmhurst will not shoot free throws here. But it is 8 against Carthage now in the half. And if you can see the look on Bosco Jarakovic's face, he's definitely not pleased with the play of his Redmen in half number 1. And now a whistle and a moving screen against Elmhurst. A surprising number of offensive fouls here in period number 1. It's Sampson setting the illegal screen. He picks up his first. 6 team fouls against the Blue Jays. No individual has more than 6 points in this game. Another low-scoring affair. Perry on the block, goes right to the right-handed hook and swishes it. Perry's first bucket of the afternoon. He's 1 of 3 from the floor. Rhodey picks it up, floats it out. Maracas, far side triple from Dotlich, good. Dotlich has a pair of triples. Elmhurst goes back up by a dozen. The Blue Jays badly needing a victory, trying to snap a 5-game losing streak as Leeser shoots and makes the 3 from the corner. As we said, Leeser shoots 73% of his field goals from behind the 3-point line as Jake Rhodey takes it in and flips it off the glass. He finds the bottom of the net to respond after Leeser's triple. There's a whistle and a foul against Elmhurst here, which will send Carthage to the stripe. See if we can sort out where this foul was. It's Peyton Sampson who will be issued the foul, and maybe he wrapped Baltimore just a little bit on the far side. That's what drew the whistle. And Baltimore, who has 5 quiet points so far in this game, goes to the free throw line. Baltimore missed the first 13 games this season due to a thumb injury. Averaged almost a dozen points per game last year. This year, he's scoring almost 17 points per game. And he hits the first free throw of the 1-and-1. Baltimore almost a 90% shooter at the free throw line. One of the first guys that Bosco Jarakovic would want at the line here. Free throw number 2 up, spins around, and it goes. Mason guards Rhodey as he brings it up. Tyler Turner getting his first minutes of the afternoon here for Elmhurst as Rhodey takes a deep 3. This one rolls around and it hit the shot clock, so it's out of bounds. The ball goes right back to Carthage. 8 turnovers for the Redmen in this one, 6 for the Blue Jays. These teams shooting better than they did in their first contest this season, in which neither of them broke 40% from the field. Today, Elmhurst just a bit above 44%, 4 of 11 from deep. Mason off a Perry screen, ball fakes, then kicks it far side. Thomas floats it up, drew the foul but could not finish. Here's the replay. Definitely a mismatch with Justin Fox trying to guard Thomas. Thomas, a junior from Northfield, played at New Trier High School. Started his college career at Northern Illinois. Hits free throw number 1. Like Baltimore, he shoots almost 90% at the free throw line. Baltimore is headed to the bench, replaced by Brad Cruz. Thomas, just a week ago, set a CCIW record with 11 three-pointers, 11 made three-pointers in a single game against Milliken. He had 40 points in the contest. Elmhurst keeping him much quieter so far today. 7 points for the junior. Tyler Turner up top. Looking to pass, shovels it off for Rhodey. Dotlich, who has a pair of trays, with Elmhurst up by 7. Now Maracas spins baseline, wraps around his defender, and they call an offensive foul. Taking another look, it's the wrap that draws the whistle here. It's the right arm of Maracas hitting Perry's back with an elbow. That's what brought the whistle. 9 fouls against Elmhurst in the half. Again, an offensive foul there, so no free throws for Carthage. And the Redmen will clear it out for Thomas because they know he can beat anyone off the dribble. Dotlich guarding him 35 feet from the basket. Cruz, a couple jabs, and he dribbles it off his own leg out of bounds. The Blue Jays happy to let Justin Fox handle Brad Cruz there. And that's a lot of confidence in the freshman, guarding a guy who has twice been an all-CCIW honoree, was first team last year. Dotlich rifles it right side. Now Maracas, a head fake. Again, he gets Perry in the air, but he misses the layup. This one tapped around and brought down by Maracas. Dotlich a tray. Yes! Dotlich with his third 3 of the ball game. He has 9 points. Now the game's leading scorer. We tick towards halftime here at R.A. Faganell Hall. The Blue Jays trying to protect home court and move above 500 on the year. Perry, that's a tough shot from the middle of the paint. The big guy has just 2 points today. Gardner left open for 3. And he stuck it between the rim and the backboard. The arrow points Elmhurst way. And we're gonna poke that thing down with the floor wiper. The fans love it. The officials doing a secondary check of which way the arrow points. And they confirm it goes to Elmhurst. A fresh shot clock for the Blue Jays. Dotlich, he has another chance, open from 3, and he's got it. A dozen for the sophomore. A 13-point edge for the Blue Jays. The Redmen badly needing a bucket, and Maracas bats away the entry pass. And the fans here on the far side are feeding off the Blue Jays' life. Both teams in the bonus with less than 90 seconds before the half. Jordan Thomas with 7 points, 2 of 4 from the floor, dribbles left, bumps into his defender, and Maracas swats it away. Dotlich, dribble drive inside, right-handed shot, lays it off the glass and in. Dotlich has spearheaded the Elmhurst offense here in half number 1. 14 points. The Blue Jays have their biggest lead of the afternoon. Thomas a 3, and he answers. Thomas is now in double figures with 10. Gardner picks it up, and the Blue Jays call timeout. John Baines wants a quick break. Going to use that TO before halftime. 40-28, Elmhurst leads by a dozen with 35 seconds until the break. The Blue Jays 11-11 on the year. They can move above 500 with a victory today and improve that CCIW record. They're just 4-9 in conference. On the other side, Carthage has played really well in conference play. They are 12-9 overall, but 7-5 in the CCIW. They've taken 3 of their last 5 and 5 of their last 8. But they haven't been great away from Kenosha and Tarbell Arena. They're 3-5 in true road games. 4-0 in neutral site games, but 3-5 in true road games. And they have struggled today, especially offensively. They're shooting 40% from the floor, and they've turned it over 9 times. Elmhurst has also been dominant in the rebounding department. 21 boards for the Blue Jays, just 10 for the Redmen. Should also note, Elmhurst has 9 offensive rebounds. Those second chance opportunities have turned into points. 6 second chance points for the Blue Jays. 8 seconds here for Elmhurst to shoot. It's Dotlich controlling. Step back 3 on the way. Clangs off, boarded by Perry. Shot clock will turn off here with just 12 seconds before halftime. Brad Cruz, 40 feet from the hoop, guarded by Rohde. Off a Perry screen, he beats Maracas, head fakes up with the left and draws the foul. For Carthage today has been individuals trying to play offense here. It's really not a team game. Just 6 assists for the Redmen in this first half. 28 points. Thomas has been alone trying to create good looks. As you see there, Cruz was basically trying to create his own look there. He hits free throw number 1. He shoots 65% at the free throw line. And it'll be interesting to see what Bosco Jarakovic goes into the locker room and says to his Redmen at halftime. Free throw number 2 good as well. Just a second and a half here for Elmhurst. Rohde gets it, has to chuck it up, loses the basketball, and he did not get it off in time. So after 20 minutes of action at R.A. Faganell Hall, it's a double-digit lead for the Elmhurst College Blue Jays. They're up 40-30 here on BlueJayTV.com. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back in about 15 minutes for half number 2 right here in Elmhurst.
Why do I go to Elmhurst College?
I'm close to everything.
I need a great school at a great price.
I'm learning about myself and my role in the world.
I love a challenge.
I'm dreaming big.
But feel totally at home. I want an education with meaning.
I want to be a champion for others. I made connections for life.
I'm ready for the real world. Why do I go to Elmhurst College?
To reach my full potential.
Coming here as a Division III player, you're coming here to get your degree. We have some players that go on to be professional athletes. They've gone overseas, but that's not the norm. Our players are coming, they're finishing their playing careers here. And so whenever they're done, they're being prepared in something else other than just basketball. So for us, that's the student-athlete model. You come in, you're working hard. Our players put in as much time as a Division I player does, but it's because they want to be there. I know that from motivating our players, if they're coming to practice, I know that they're working hard because it's out of them, not just because we've got a dollar sign, they have to do it, this is how they have to stay in school. They don't have to be there. They're there because they're motivated to, they want to be a good team, they want to be a good player, and there's something that's special about that experience to me, coaching that player.
Elmhurst College is much more than buildings, courses, and credits. It's a supportive community of individuals who are committed to helping you reach your full potential. But don't take my word for it.
I visited a lot of schools, but when I came here, it was just like, I'm home.
As soon as I walked on campus, I felt like I could dive right in and get involved.
Getting involved is easy, especially in class. The average class here has just 17 students.
Every faculty and staff here just wants me to succeed.
I can go up to them, and it's not just office hours. Like, I'm here from 10:30 to 11:30. It's actually like, whenever you need help, my door's open.
There's a real connection that takes place. I'm frequently asked, what do I teach? I never say music. I teach people. Music's the vehicle.
It was great to see that rather than just teaching textbook material, they're actually giving you some industry insight.
I'm a vocalist. I'm out in the clubs performing. I'm touring in Europe and performing. So they see how their life can transition into that.
A lot of my friends from other universities, they don't get to be a part of undergraduate research, professional development at such an early stage.
They're truly there to help you and to build you and to make sure that you are amazing.
And at Elmhurst, you can be amazing all around, including on the field. Football is just one of 20 Division III sports.
We went straight to the Final Four of the nation, and that was a great way to come in and start off the season.
They're there because they're motivated to, they want to be a good team, they want to be a good player.
Wrestling wasn't my life. I was able to go out and do a lot of different activities and get involved on campus.
We are allowed to be students, and we can be involved in a lot of other things.
How do you want to get involved? You'll have your choice at Elmhurst.
Our campus has over 100 clubs and organizations.
Whatever you want to do, there's something here for you to do. Concert choir, the wind ensemble, gospel choir.
Habitat for Humanity, Global Poverty Club.
I'm an orientation student leader, SGA, Best Buddies.
Greek life at Elmhurst College is really focused on leadership and discovering who you really are.
To be part of all these different organizations and get to know all these amazing people is why I love Elmhurst.
You can also get to know the world beyond the campus. Elmhurst offers study abroad opportunities in 44 countries.
I studied abroad in Granada,
Holland, Germany,
El Salvador, Israel and Palestine, Costa Rica,
Czech Republic.
Back at home, you'll enjoy all the advantages of our great location. Downtown Elmhurst is just a short walk from campus, and the Metro train will take you to the world-class city of Chicago in just 30 minutes. When it comes to career preparation, we've got you covered. Elmhurst will connect you with the people and the experiences you need to reach your full potential.
Elmhurst allows you to grow into the knowing, and I appreciate that there's a journey that we encourage. It's not just in one program or one department, it's threaded throughout everything that we do.
Elmhurst College pushes you to truly find who you are as a person and as a professional.
They will make sure no matter what your interests are, what your career path is, that there's going to be a resource on campus that is going to help you find that potential and then reach it.
If I had to say why Elmhurst would be the best option for nursing education, I would say because you don't have to be big to be the best. We have all of the student services, we have all the educational services, the excellent curriculum and faculty, so we're not big, but we are the best. We have a state-of-the-art simulation center, and I have seen many sim centers across the nation, and this one is truly, truly remarkable.
The professors there encourage us to make mistakes because it is simulation, and they want us to learn from our mistakes.
Going to the sim lab that's actually in Elmhurst Memorial Hospital, it's really, really cool. The facility is amazing, it's brand new.
What the simulation center consists of are mannequins, but these aren't just mannequins like you've seen before where you do CPR. Our mannequins talk to you. Our mannequins birth babies. Our mannequins cry. If you don't do what you need to do as a nurse to our mannequins, they will die. So what we do is actually simulate experiences in real life that you will see as a nurse, and you get to make mistakes without hurting people.
At any school you can learn the skills, but I feel like at Elmhurst the faculty and staff are encouraging us to do more.
They're always passionate about what they do, and I think that's very important. One of my professors said, you don't just want to be a good nurse, you want to be the best nurse.
We do have many partners in the community at Elmhurst College, and basically we have to. We rely on our community partners to provide that clinical education piece. So while we are there with our students, side by side, teaching them, we couldn't do it if we didn't have the clinical partners. I think our faculty are our gems here. When you come to Elmhurst for nursing education, you will receive your education from clinical specialists. You can be good as a clinician, but that doesn't make you a good educator. We need excellent educators to be able to translate that theory into practice for our nursing students.
I got on the floor, and after a few weeks working with my clinical instructor and working with my classmates and collaborating, it really has provided me with a safe space to, talk to my instructor, talk to my other peers, and really work together to build my confidence and competency as a future nurse.
I feel like they are preparing me well, and I have no doubt that in a short year and a half that I'll be ready to go out into the world and be a nurse helping patients.
Our students are working everywhere. We have students working in schools, hospitals, and in community health settings. So our students are really everywhere. We don't just teach, we change lives.
I love when people ask me, okay, what can I do now that I'm here? I'm in the honors program, being a part of Union Board,
Best Buddies, Student Government, Debate Club,
Relay for Life, the Research Keystone program,
Greek Life,
Tri Beta,
Juggling Club,
Student Ambassadors.
Once you get here, there are plenty of things going on. Serving the community is such a huge part of being an Elmhurst College student.
Center for Professional Excellence has a whole department and team ready to help you get involved with community service.
I think one of my favorite ones would have to be when I joined Golden Crew. The organization itself focuses on pediatric cancer. We had like a whole scavenger hunt for them, and I dressed up as Batman and kind of helped lead them through the entire experience. And it was kind of really like a humbling thing.
Being able to plan homecoming the last 4 years, it was really honestly one of the best experiences I've had here. I don't think I would have been this social or this confident if I wasn't part of the 10,000 things that I get the opportunity to be a part of every day.
The connections that you make on this campus, both in your academic classes as well as the different service organizations or just activities you get involved in, give you the opportunity to really get out there. Making those connections isn't something that's superficial. It's something that you get here as an experience. It's something that is going to carry on for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you're coming here to get a degree, but your 4 years in college aren't just defined by that. It's by all the things that you're involved in, and the people that you meet, and the way that you meet those people is by getting involved.
Definitely being on the cross country and track team, that has been really great. The athletic community as a whole is really inclusive and inviting, and then having that team, it's really family oriented. We usually have 20 girls on the team, and we're all brought together by our love for running, and our coach is really instrumental in that. But you get to know each other so well through practices, and you're going through all these really hard workouts together. So you're putting everything you've got out there, and you're all supporting each other. You get to know each other on a really like personal level that you might not otherwise just by meeting these girls in class. So you get to know about their families and their classes and their goals for the season, and you really support each other. The Division III athlete is kind of the perfect balance of student athlete too. You still get your sport and it's highly competitive, and we compete just as much as the D1 athletes do, but then we are allowed to be students and we can be involved in a lot of other things. I know a lot of the girls on my team and myself are involved in a lot of other clubs and organizations, and I feel like at a D1 school you kind of are limited. You can only be on your sports team and then study too for your classes. So you kind of get the best of both worlds with that.
Originally, it was a breath of fresh air. I'm alone. What am I going to do? What could I possibly do? What's ahead for me? And once I got on campus, I just excelled. I utilized all my resources coming here. It was a program called Direct Connect, which was a minority program to get students situated with the campus 2 weeks before school started. So I actually lived on campus 2 weeks before. I went to seminars, which actually helped us get acquainted to the long campus hours. The teachers that were in the seminars were actually going to be our teachers that were on campus. So we have something here called the first year seminar, which not only is supposed to promote growth within the freshmen, but also serve as a guidance or a type of direction for their first time here. And they were ecstatic. They helped me, they gravitated towards me, and I actually use them as a stepping stone even now in senior year. Growing up, I did not have that type of support. In high school, you think you can stay after class, but what will other students think? I think once I got here, it was more so what do I want? Just having a drive, a motivation to go forth and actually reach out for help or ask for help.
The teachers are extremely approachable.
The one-on-one interaction has really helped me find that passion.
I learned that no goal is too big.
They want you to network and then take risks because that's how it's going to be in your practical life.
They want us to succeed just as much as we do.
More of a learning experience, I think, outside of the classroom.
Various opportunities to really dive into different viewpoints.
Elmhurst fosters that environment of openness and everyone contributing to the greater good.
Elmhurst really challenges you to keep an open mind.
I went to Jamaica for 2 weeks. I came back with a whole new perspective.
They will make sure no matter what your interests are, what your career path is, that there is going to be a resource on campus that is going to help you find that potential and then reach it.
Through research, I've been able to go to all these new places, and I've also been able to really broaden my perspective.
We go in the field as pre-service teachers sophomore year.
I've exceeded what I thought at 18 years old walking on this campus that I could do.
Coming back to Elmhurst at my age has allowed me to see that, yes, I have the potential to do other things.
And it's helping me grow to be a better leader.
I feel like I've been more prepared than I have ever been before in my life.
I don't want to be a blank slate. I want there to be lots of dimensions to me.
I'm going to be able to do something that's going to matter in this world.
I want to be that voice for people that can't speak up for themselves.
Without this school, I don't think I would have gone after those motivations or those dreams.
The people around me and the resources the school has allowed me to reach my potential.
Definitely ready for the real world.
The Elmhurst College Blue Jays are on track to snap their 5-game losing streak this afternoon at R.A. Faganell Hall. The Blue Jays hold a 40-30 edge at the break against the Carthage College Redmen. Thanks for joining us here on Blue Jay TV. I'm Jason Doro, joined by producer and director Glenn Liljeberg. A big thank you to him for bringing you all of the great camera work and commercials all through today's action in this doubleheader between Carthage and Elmhurst. Game number 1 was won by Carthage, the women's team securing a 5-point win, 77-72 over the Blue Jays. Let's take a peek at our halftime stats as we tick towards half number 2. For Elmhurst, they're led by Derek Dotlich. He had 14 points on 5 of 7 shooting. He had 4 threes in that first half. Jake Rohde chipped in 7 points. Pavlos Maracas had 5. Ryan Patton also had 5. Jeremy Ireland had 6 points and 5 rebounds, so he's on track for a double-double. Then Peyton Sampson had a deuce. On the other side for Carthage, just one player in double figures. That's Jordan Thomas. He got going towards the end of the first half. Had those 10 points on 3 of 6 shooting, including a couple of trays. Keenan Baltimore had 7. Steve Leeser had 5. And then Brad Cruz had 4. Perry and Mason both had 2-pointers. So 10-point lead here for Elmhurst, who lost the first matchup between these teams this season, a game that was a very low-scoring affair, 63-57, out at Tarble Arena in Kenosha on January 13th. Both teams shot below 40% from the floor in that one, and Elmhurst lost the turnover battle 18-8 in the contest. They turned it over at a very high rate. Today they've protected the basketball better, just 7 turnovers in the first half. Here we go, half number 2. Thomas on the left side, guarded tightly by Patton. Thomas, who had a good first half with 10 points, floated that one up way too high. Here come the Blue Jays. Patton, a ball fake, and then they rotate it around in the corner. It's Fox who triggers a tray. Back rim rebounded by Cruz. Cruz pulls it out, nearly stripped by Ocker. Off to Thomas, who's left open for 3. Perry brings down the rebound after the miss. Inside pass for Cruz, who the Blue Jays just forgot about. And Cruz can lay it in easily. Elmhurst has led by as much as 15 in this ball game. They led 40-25. So Carthage is now on a 7-0 run. From the corner, it's Patton for 3. Clangs it off. Offensive rebound. Fox, who puts it right back up and in. It's the first points of the game for Justin Fox, the freshman from Emmington, Illinois. Went to Dwight High School. He averages 5 points per contest. Ocker bumps into a Carthage College player here on the near side. I believe it's Derek Mason. He fell into the bleachers, and yes, it is Mason. Ocker picks up his first of the ball game. It's also the first foul of the second half. Carthage looking to get their offense going. Shot under 40% in the first half, 11 of 28 from the floor. Baltimore misses the tray, rebounded by Maracas. Maracas has 5 rebounds and 4 assists to go with 5 points. Ireland left all alone, and he kisses it off the glass and in. Ireland has 8 points and 6 boards. The big guy out of Berwyn, a junior forward, playing well against some very big opponents. At times, Carthage played 2 different players who are 6'10" or taller during that first half. And Cruz stepped on the sideline here, out of bounds. The Red Men turn it over, right back to the Blue Jays, and maybe the storyline has switched here after Elmhurst lost the turnover battle 18-8 in the first game this season between these two. Now Carthage is losing at 10-7. Ocker, who started this game, got his first start of the season, beats Mason baseline and lays it in. A quick rip through and finish from Ocker, the senior guard out of Evansville, Indiana. Elmhurst up by 14. Baltimore spins baseline and finishes. Great touch around the rim from Baltimore. 6'5" sophomore out of Zion. They need to get him going in half number 2. He has 9 points, but he averages 17 per game. Missed the first 13 games of the year with a thumb injury. Ireland spins and puts it home. He's into double figures with 10. Carthage needs a response. Again, it's Baltimore spinning baseline. There's a whistle and a foul on the ground. For a second, it looked like Baltimore might have traveled here. Look at the pivot foot. Yeah, the pivot foot got picked up early. He definitely could have got whistled for the travel. Instead, it's a foul on Ireland, who picks up his 3rd. Two fouls against the Blue Jays in the half. Cruz far side. He was first team all CCIW last year, third team in the conference the season before. Mason with the floater from the baseline. It's bounced out of bounds on the miss. And the officials will point Elmhurst way. And now they need to reset the shot clock. It still says 29. They push it back to 30 for this fresh possession. Elmhurst can take their biggest lead of the day with the bucket here. Lance Gardner, now Fox, inside for Maracas, who has had an all-around great game today. Ocker, a long three, a little short. Maracas fighting for the board, tapped out of bounds by Perry, and will keep it on this end. Again, they reset the shot clock. Elmhurst looking to snap a 5-game losing streak today. They've also lost 7 of their last 8. Could desperately use a victory. Gardner in the paint, misses the bunny. Rebounded by the Redmen. A double team right as Baltimore crosses the timeline, and they call a foul. And Bosco Jurakovic is irate, yelling across at John Baines. The two coaches getting into it. The officials trying to sort things out here. Lance Gardner picks up a foul here. So I'm starting to wonder what Bosco Jurakovic can be so upset about. Gardner picks up his third, the third of the half against Elmhurst. Blue Jays have brought a replacement to the table because they want to get Gardner out of the game with 3 fouls. So Sampson enters now. And Bosco Jurakovic continues to chirp at the refs, the 23rd year head man of the Carthage College Redmen, who won 2 national titles with North Park back in the 1980s. This is not his first rodeo. Baltimore, a head fake, behind the back dribble, and he can't finish off the and one. This is some great ball handling from Baltimore, and Sampson picks up the foul. Baltimore was second on the team with 99 made free throws last season. This season, his number will be nowhere near that, but that's because he missed the first 13 games of the year with a thumb injury. And he swishes the first free throw. And he hits almost 90% at the stripe. A 13-point lead for the Blue Jays, almost 5 minutes into the second half. And he connects on number 2 as well. Definitely some back and forth here between Baltimore and the Elmhurst College student section in your lower right-hand corner. You can just barely see them now. Maracas picks it up and gives back to his point guard, Ocker. Maracas with a little space. He'll pull up from 14 feet. Back rim, rebounded by Sampson. He's on the deck. Baltimore collects. That looked like a double dribble. He falls on the ground, and now a whistle against Elmhurst. Definitely a slightly sloppy play here. And so that is a judgment call for the officials. You noticed Baltimore kind of tapped it into the ground, back to himself, picked it up, and then dribbled again. So they said that first tap wasn't an official dribble. It was just, you know, him collecting the basketball. The foul goes on Ryan Patton. He picks up his first. 5 against Elmhurst in this half, none against Carthage. The deficit is still a dozen. Baltimore, they've been force feeding him in this second half. Right-handed hook is pure. Some noise from the Carthage bench now, as Baltimore has 11 points. He and Thomas both in double figures. Sampson gets the pass from Maracas and gets the whistle. Take another look. Maracas draws the double, which frees up Sampson to dive to the basket and draw the foul. It's the first foul against Derek Mason in the ball game, and the first foul against Carthage this half. Sampson, first free throw up, bangs off. Sampson is a freshman out of Peru, Illinois, went to LaSalle Peru High School. Plays right around 11 minutes per game. Has only started 2 contests this year. That one rolls around and he gets the friendly bounce to make it an 11-point contest. Tyler Turner replaces him. Turner has not played a whole lot this year. In fact, this is just his 7th appearance. He's averaging 3.5 minutes per game, and Elmhurst steals the inbound pass. Again, turnovers continue to haunt the Redmen. Fox working off a screen. He'll fade away from 12 feet and miss the jumper. Mason with a crossover. Gets some space. Can't connect on the layup. Dotlich with his head up, dribbling across the timeline and giving to Turner. Rhodey lines up a 3, front rim no good. A whistle against Elmhurst here. Maracas just jumped on top of somebody underneath the bucket here. Yeah, you can see him colliding with a couple of different Redmen. Maracas picks up his second. As the Elmhurst student section continues to taunt Baltimore. A chippy half number 2. At least the first 6 minutes of it. Baltimore, a tight crossover. Finds Leeser on the backdoor cut, who shovels off to Perry, and he won't miss from that range. Perry has 4 points, 5 rebounds. A quiet day for the 6'11" big man out of Park Ridge, went to Maine South High School. Maracas against Perry. Rifles over to Fox. Turner. Crosses over, just fine for the Blue Jays to shoot. Ball's on the deck, body's on the deck, and a whistle against Carthage. Jordan Thomas picks up his second of the contest. 2 against Carthage in the half. The offense for Carthage has been all Thomas and Baltimore. They have 23 of the 40 points for the Redmen. This time it's Elmhurst turning it over. Bosco Jurakovic on his feet near half court, directing his Redmen. Baltimore, a 3, and he buries it. 16 points for the sophomore. And he has pulled Carthage right back into this ball game. Timeout, Elmhurst. John Baines definitely a bit frustrated after that run from the Redmen. 49-43. 12 minutes and change to play here at R.A. Faganell Hall in game number 2 of our doubleheader. And Keenan Baltimore, after a fairly quiet first half, has tallied 16 points on 5 of 9 shooting. He's perfect at the free throw line and 2 of 4 from deep. Jordan Thomas, who had 10 points in the first half, still only has 10 points, but that's because Baltimore has taken over. Over on the other side for Elmhurst, Derek Dotlich has gone silent in half number 2. He still has 14 points, his halftime total. Jeremy Ireland has 10.6 rebounds, and he's been on the bench with 3 fouls. Fouls are definitely hurting the Blue Jays right now. 3 on Ireland, 3 on Gardner, 3 on Sampson. So your best big man is stuck on the bench for at least 4 or 5 minutes here, or he has been. He's bound to come back into the game soon. And Gardner, who is probably your 6th man if you're John Baines, is also on the bench with those 3 fouls. We resume play now. Tyler Turner gets it back. Misses the short runner, and there's a whistle on the rebound. Take another look at the replay. Turner missing from just about 5 feet. Eventually there's a whistle. Carthage on an 8-1 run right now, and heading to the stripe after that foul was issued to Pavlos Marakis, who picks up his 3rd. Ireland back in, as well as Gardner. They'll both be playing with 3 fouls. Turner and Marakis to the bench as Leeser hits the free throw. It's now a 9-1 run for the Red Men. Free throw number 2 clangs off. Rhodey flips it up and good. John Baines needs to get Jake Rhodey going here. 9 points for him on 4 of 6 shooting. He did not start this game, the first game of this season that he did not start. When he's on, Elmhurst tends to be on as well. And one of the Red Men took a tough ball on the baseline after that drive. It was Brad Cruz. He tossed the basketball into the backboard, the underside of it. The ball went out of bounds and stays with Carthage. Baltimore, who has 16 points, dribbles baseline, gets the space he needs, but can't finish. Loose ball goes to Perry. He's stripped and the ball goes out of bounds back to Elmhurst. You can see here Gardner knocked out of the hands of Perry, but then he touched it again. So sure enough, Blue Jay basketball up by 7. Gardner gives to Rhodey. Rhodey bounces to Ireland. Fires far side. Patton open for 3. A little short. Rebound to Baltimore and a whistle on the ground. And Elmhurst just knows it's against Carthage. Let's take a look at the replay. Oh yeah, Baltimore tripped up Gardner. That was not much of a box out from the sophomore. Instead, he just grabbed Lance Gardner. Baltimore picks up his 3rd foul. 3 against Carthage in the half, 7 against Elmhurst. Rhodey a floater. Rebounded by Johnson. Brad Perry's on the bench. Johnson will play some minutes at the center. Baltimore flips it far side. Leeser zips it right back. Baltimore drives, gives to Johnson, up with the right. Gets his own rebound. Now Baltimore with another chance. Johnson taps it up. The ball's on the floor, and now Gardner chucks it off Baltimore's leg. Gardner falling out of bounds on the baseline. Decides he has no other option but to throw this off the leg of Baltimore. Well, this is about what we expected, folks. 63-57 was the score of the first game these two teams played this year. Why not another defensive struggle? Entry for Ireland. Rips through, kicks out Gardner, all alone for three. Got it! Gardner has 4 points. Elmhurst leads by double digits again. Baltimore zings it near side. Leeser air ball on the tray. Ocker back at the point. Tried to rifle it inside, but one of the Carthage College players got a hand on it. Maracas will re-enter here, as will Derek Mason. Jordan Thomas to the bench. Thomas has not scored in half number 2. He averages almost 20 points per game. Bosco Jarakovic could use some more production out of his junior transfer from Northern Illinois. Ocker's bounce pass off the leg of Johnson and out of bounds on the near side. Lots of transfers on this Carthage College roster. Leeser's also a transfer from St. Louis University. Appeared in just 1 game for the Billikens before moving to Kenosha. Ireland on the block, flips it back out. Jump shot from Gardner, 20-footer. Karams off, rebounded by Leeser. Baltimore spins, guns it out. Leeser the head fake. Right back to Baltimore on the baseline. Baltimore measures the 3 and buries it. 19 points for the sophomore. We tick under 9 minutes to play. Gardner bounce past Maracas at the rim. Crafty finish. A little pump and then he lays it in. Good job by Maracas to protect the basketball. He has 7 points and 7 rebounds. And I don't have the minutes handy, but it's a whole lot as compared to what he usually plays. Let's see, 26 minutes for Maracas. As you take a look at the replay here, and the foul against Lance Gardner. 4 fouls against Gardner, and he's bound to hit the bench here. Justin Fox is up and heading to the scorer's table, or rather he sits down, so maybe they'll keep Gardner in with Baltimore at the stripe to shoot a 1-and-1. This would be 20 points for the sophomore. He shoots almost 90% at the free throw line. He's 4 of 5 there today. Had 15 points the last time these two teams squared off. Free throw number 2, also good, 21 points. And the deficit is 7 once again. Another quick whistle. This will be against Carthage. Let's take a look. Yeah, Mason just shoved aside a Blue Jay. So Mason gets his second foul. 4 against Carthage in the half. Rohde's back in at point with Ocker on the bench. Rohde hesitates, penetrates. They swing it around inside, looking for Ireland, who's bumped, and he just tosses it away. We definitely could have made a case there for a foul against the Redmen. And that pass goes to no one. Derek Mason tried a no-look pass to the far side, and he gunned it right between 2 of his teammates. Dotlich awaits at the scorer's table with the Blue Jays up by 7. Rohde dribbling at the point. He has 9 points today. Patton, he has 5. floated in for Ireland, who's blocked and fouled. The foul will be on Mason, his third. Great vision again from Rhodey. Even on the far side block, he sees Ireland and puts just enough arc on the pass to feed him underneath the 10. First free throw is good. Ireland shoots about 80% at the line. He's closing in on a double-double today. He's got 11 points, 8 rebounds. 3 of 3 at the free throw line, 4 of 8 from the floor for the big guy. Free throw number 2 is a swish. Mason will start the Carthage offense. Bosco Jurakovic leans back in his chair and watches his red men turn it over. Now he's up out of his chair and might need a timeout soon. A foul here against the red men, which will be their 6th in the half. Brad Cruz, it's his 2nd foul. Now both teams will be in the bonus for the remaining 7 minutes. Rhodey, he wants a 25-footer. Rebounded by Johnson. Dotlich almost pickpockets Leeser. He gets it back and feeds Johnson, who misses the layup, but he drew a foul. So Johnson is going to the stripe. There you see Dotlich almost got away with the steal, but Leeser was able to collect and get it to the big guy. Johnson stands 6'10", 205 pounds. He's from Chicago. Went to Notre Dame College Prep. Just a freshman with the Redmen, and he hits the first free throw. He's a physics major, and his father actually won 2 national titles under Carthage head coach Bosco Jurakovic back when Jurakovic was coaching at North Park. 1985 and 1987, the Vikings were national champs. And now Jurakovic, the winningest coach in program history with Carthage College up in Kenosha, just about 65 miles north of Chicago. Fox slings it inside. Maracas with the back down. Fox left open for 3. Misses it. Offensive rebound, Ireland, and a fresh shot clock for the Blue Jays. Just like the last time these two teams met, a game that's been set in the half court. Fox sealed his defender, and then he scored. 60-51. A total of 7 fast break points in this one. On January 13th in Kenosha, there were only 4 fast break points. Largest lead for either team was 8. Baltimore misses that 15-foot fadeaway, and now Dotlich is fouled in the backcourt by Sean Johnson. Here you see Dotlich dribbling forward and then just bumped into by Johnson, who had no reason to reach in 70 feet from the hoop. Brad Cruz replaces Baltimore, who is visibly frustrated despite his 21 points on nearly 50% shooting and his perfect day at the free throw line where he's 6 of 6. Dotlich is the one at the stripe right now, though. He shoots almost 83% at the line. Today he's got 15 points, now 16. And he's shot a great clip. 5 of 7 today and 4 of 6 from deep. A double-digit lead again for the Blue Jays. Looking to move above 500. They are 11-11. That 3 clangs off, rebounded by Fox. Elmhurst 4-9 in CCIW play. They were much better in the non-con. 5-5 here at R.A. Faganell Hall in the season. Carthage continues to have struggles on the road. They are 3-5 in true road games on this season. Floated in for Fox, double teamed and poked away. Fox able to fall on it, give it back to Maracas. Ireland is open underneath. He goes up for the shot. And there's a whistle, and I think the shot clock accidentally reset here. Because why would you have 28 on the shot clock right now? Let's take another look. There's a 30 that's not moving on the shot clock, and eventually it starts. So the officials will have to sort out what this means. I'm guessing Ireland's shot won't count. There won't be a foul or anything. It'll just be Elmhurst ball. Maybe they'll put some time back on the clock. Bosco Jarakovic is speaking with one of our officials near the scorer's table as Lance Gardner and Keenan Baltimore wait to re-enter the game. They've put 1 second on the shot clock. I don't know if that was on purpose, if that was on accident. Should the shot clock have expired? Tough to say here. Nonetheless, our score is 62-51. Elmhurst leads by 11 as our officials convene to determine what to do here. To kind of recap, there's a loose ball inside the three-point arc on Elmhurst's end. And there was some sort of shot clock malfunction because it got stuck at 30 seconds and wasn't moving, and maybe it should have expired. They've put a 1 back on it. We'll take a quick peek at the stat sheet here. Ireland has 12, Dotledge has 16. They are the leading scorers for the Blue Jays. Let's also take a peek at what's to come for Elmhurst in the coming weeks here, because the season is wrapping up. They play Wednesday against North Park, right back here at R.A. Faganell Hall. That'll be senior day for the men's team. The women's team had senior day this afternoon, since they have more players from outside the Chicagoland area who want to make sure their family and parents and friends could get here to see them on their senior day. So men's senior day this upcoming Wednesday against North Park. And then their final game of the regular season will be at Augustana on Tuesday, February 20th at 7 p.m. Carthage on the other side, they have one more conference game left. They play at Wheaton on Wednesday. And then they play against Illinois Wesleyan at home next Saturday before a game at North Park on Tuesday the 20th. So eventually the officials have ruled here that it's a shot clock violation. Although the horn didn't sound, it's a shot clock violation. Carthage gets the ball. A rare turnover for the Blue Jays this afternoon. Cruz ran over his defender and then lost the ball out of bounds. Cruz, another turnover. Maracas, a head fake, puts it up. It rolls around but won't go. The ball falls out of bounds on the far side and stays with Elmhurst. That was Cruz's 5th turnover, by the way. He and Baltimore both have 5. And it's been not Cruz's night. 2 of 7 from the floor, 6 points, 4 rebounds. Baltimore will apply some pressure on Ireland, 35 feet from the hoop. And Rhodey says, give me the basketball. I'm the point guard here. Rhodey gets by his defender. His floater no good. Rebounded by Perry. And now Carthage needs to score and score quick. Baltimore misses the forced runner. Perry with the follow. Perry has 6 points and 7 rebounds. And now a full court defense from the Red Men. They are going to double Rhodey in the backcourt, but he flips it off to Gardner. So not a very well executed full court press. And now a 3-on-1 for Carthage. Baltimore misses the layup and then fouls Gardner after missing the shot. And if you're the Red Men, this just has to turn into points. You have a 3-on-1. Down by 9. Baltimore misses the fast break layup and then gets his 4th foul. 9 against Elmhurst, 8 against Carthage in this half. Gardner to shoot a 1-and-1 here. He makes 73% of his shots at the line. First one up, and it's a swish. Gardner has 5 points now today. He's just 1 of 5 from the floor. Did not start in what was a non-traditional starting lineup for John Baines. He put Brandon Auker, the senior, on the floor and had Jake Rhodey come off the bench. First game this season in which Rhodey did not start. Justin Fox also got the start in this one. Levon Thomas has not played. So even without Thomas, Elmhurst is up by 11 with just 3.5 minutes to go against a team that is 7-5 in the CCIW. Mason's corner 3, good. Falling away in the corner, Mason drills it. 8-point game. Auker bounces it between 2 defenders. Fox will walk it up. And John Baines calls timeout. He's got timeouts to use. You can't take them home with you tonight, so use them now. An 8-point edge for the Elmhurst College Blue Jays with 3 minutes to play against the Carthage College Red Men. And this was a game that on paper, you think Carthage is probably favored in. A better record in the CCIW at 7-5 than Elmhurst 4-9. They've been playing fairly well of late, winning 3 of 5 and 5 of their last 8, while the Blue Jays are on a 5-game losing streak. And they've fallen in 7 of their last 8, but here they are with an 8-point lead at home. And outside Keenan Baltimore, this second half for Carthage has just been quiet. Jordan Thomas has 10 now, but he had 10 at halftime. Mason has 5, Cruz and Perry each have 6, as well as Leeser. But some of the guys that are normally studs for this Carthage College team have been silent today. Thomas averages 20 per game almost. And Cruz is normally a 16-7 guy. Today he's a 6-4 guy with 5 turnovers. And Bosco Jurakovic just has not got the production that he's accustomed to this year. Carthage is coming off an 18-8 season too. This is a team with talent. Elmhurst looking to move above 500. 11-11 on the season. Rhodey plays point. Dotlich, the leading scorer for Elmhurst today. Just 2 to shoot for the Blue Jays, and Maracas chucks it into the shot clock. The ball back to the Red Men. Dotlich and Ireland are the only Blue Jays in double figures. Ireland has a dozen. He's a rebound away from a double-double. Dotlich had 14 in the first half, and he added a deuce here in half number 2. Dotlich back to the bench as Baines plays some offense-defense. Auker also re-enters, replacing Rhodey. Gardner on the bench with 4 fouls. Less than 3 minutes to play. Thomas behind the back dribble. Forces it up. Misses the short shot in the lane. Rebounded by Fox, and he gets it away to Auker, who passes it over his head across half court. Patton double teamed. Able to get it away. Near corner, Maracas. Carthage looking for a trap. This is where you have to force turnovers, and if not that, at least get stops if you're the Redmen. And Patton loses it out of bounds. Dotlich gets up and will replace Patton. Patton off to the bench to get coached up by John Baines. 8-point lead for Elmhurst. Just 2 minutes to play now at R.A. Faganell Hall. Baltimore open for three, too strong. It goes over the backboard, rebounded by Maracas. That probably should have been out of bounds. Carthage gets it back, and Cruz is eventually left open for an easy layup. 64-58. Here comes the double on Dotlich. He's able to zip it across half court, poked out of bounds by Leeser, and it stays with Elmhurst. Gardner and Rohde both re-enter for Elmhurst, and they really need Rohde in the game right now to handle the basketball. He's not open for this inbound pass. Ireland will fire it over to Gardner, who guns it right back to him. They get it across half court to Dotlich, who drives inside and then circles back out. 6-point edge for Elmhurst, trying to hold on for their 5th conference win this year. Rohde spins around Baltimore, draws the foul, and that's it for the sophomore. And that gets a big cheer from the Elmhurst student section. Baltimore fouls out with 21 points on 6 of 16 shooting. 3 rebounds, 3 assists for him in this game. Of course, Carthage does still have scoring threats to work with here. Thomas can be a prolific scorer. Rohde's first free throw rattles out. Perry gobbles in the rebound. And it's still a 6-point game. Both teams in the double bonus now. Cruz a long three. He misses left, rebounded by Maracas. Rohde chucks it up for Gardner, who collects, goes up for the slam, misses the dunk, but draws the foul. And Cruz says, what did I do? Can't believe the foul call. Take another look. The quarterback pass from Jake Rohde. Gardner went for the facial. Now he's at the stripe for 2 shots. 73% on the year for Gardner. And the first one slips in. 7-point edge, 3-possession game with 63 seconds to play. Gardner has 7 in the contest. Now it's 8. Cruz will bring it up. Carthage needing points quick here. Tapped out of bounds by a Blue Jay. It remains Redmen basketball. Look for Cruz or Thomas here. They tend to pace the Redmen offensively. Mason, a 25-footer, he drew the foul. Rohde is surprised by the whistle. Let's take a look and see how much acting went into this one. Rohde with the closeout, and I'm not sure what caused those exact gyrations from Mason. Maybe Rohde bumped him. In any case, 3 fouls coming here, or 3 foul shots, excuse me, coming. First one's good. Mason, a senior guard, a transfer from Heidelberg University in Tiffin, Ohio, a Division III school as well. Free throw number 2, also good. Mason shoots 87% at the stripe, so no surprise that he's hitting these. Perry heads to the bench, replaced by Sean Johnson. 6-point ball game with 46 seconds to play. And Mason misses the third. 2-possession game here. Redmen pressuring in the backcourt, and John Baines gets a timeout with the ball still in the backcourt. Dotlich was going to have all kinds of space to get it across the timeline. But if the ball is correctly placed here, I think Elmhurst will still be inbounding 60 or 70 feet from the hoop. So 38 seconds to play, time to talk strategy again. We had a very close first game today, one that Carthage won 77-72 in the women's contest. Now the tables have turned and Elmhurst holds a 6-point lead with just a little bit to go here. If you're Elmhurst, you just want to get the ball in and get it across the timeline. You can't turn the ball over here. You're in the double bonus, so you'll take any foul. Preferably you get it in the hands of a good free throw shooter. You'd expect Jake Rohde to be the ball handler here, but Brandon Ocker did start at point guard, so who knows exactly what John Baines has up his sleeve here with 38 seconds to play. Again, Elmhurst can move above 500 with a victory today. Their record would move to 12-11. Carthage would drop to 12-10 if the current result holds. Padden is the trigger man. Rohde, Gardner, Ireland, and Dotlich are the other 3 or 4 Blue Jays on the court. They inbound to Rohde. Johnson tries to catch him in the backcourt. Another pass up to Gardner, who tries the slam again. He misses. The Blue Jays kick it out and swing it around. Dotlich is hammered on the near side. Gardner went up for the jam. There you see him hit the deck after missing the dunk. And then it's a game of keep away. So Dotlich to the line to shoot 2. 83% on the year at the stripe for him. Shot clock turns off with 27 seconds to play, and Dotlich connects to make it a 7-point contest. Ocker re-enters as Dotlich works on his team-high 17 points. Baltimore, who has fouled out for Carthage, has a game-high 21. Less than 30 seconds to go. Here comes Brad Cruz. Beats Gardner off the dribble and finishes the layup. Bosko Jarakovic says, I'm going to use a TO. And try to draw up a full court press here that will create a turnover. .21 seconds left, and that was a really quick timeout. Jarakovic must have already had his plan drawn up because they broke the huddle and said, let's go. Essentially, they just wanted to set up the full court press rather than have to find their men after the made layup. So here we go. Padden can run the baseline. Can't find anyone. Now he enters it for Ireland, who feeds Padden right back. Padden dribbles up court and draws the foul on Mason. That will be Mason's 4th. Carthage is over the limit. 2 free throws coming for Padden, who shoots 71% at the stripe. And the first one's good. Elmhurst is making them count at the line tonight. 16 of 20, they're shooting 80% at the stripe. Carthage on the other side has shot well from the free throw line too, 15 of 17. 8-point lead, 15 seconds to play. Cruz with it. Spins, he's got some space, has to kick it for Leeser. They have to put the basketball up. Fadeaway 3, too short. Rebounded by the Redmen. Mason up and in, but the time is just about gone. Bosko Jarakovic was about to use a timeout, which drew a whistle, and then he said, never mind, I don't need it, with 1 second to play. And all Elmhurst has to do here is get the basketball in, and they will walk away with the victory. Elmhurst takes it 70-64. The Blue Jays move to 12-11 on the year. Their CCIW record improves to 5-9. while Carthage drops to 12-10 on the year and 7-6 in conference play. Your statistical leaders for the night: Derek Dotlich had 18 points and 4 rebounds. The only other Blue Jay in double figures was Jeremy Ireland with 12 points and 9 rebounds. That'll be about it for us today from R.A. Faganell Hall. A big thank you to our producer and director, Glenn Liljeberg, for bringing you all of today's action. The final score from game number 1 today: the Carthage College Lady Reds defeat the Elmhurst Blue Jays 77-72. And now here in game number 2, the men get revenge and the Blue Jays win 70-64 to move to 12-11 on the year.